Hello everyone, this is Dr. Namta Rizvi with another lesson on important literary terms, the 5 most important literary terms that are must to know for your exam. Okay, so without any further delay, let's go ahead and prepare our 5 important terms. So let's go ahead with this. Okay, so guys, we have started with our UGC NET English Literature course. It started from 30th August. We are giving you paper 1 as well as paper 2. पूरा comprehensive detailed courses मेरा course शुरू हो गया है. We have covered a few chapters and you can see from YouTube classes कि मैं बहुत comprehensively एकदम detailed way में I go ahead. That is my way of teaching. This is the way I will be covering every topic. Not a single question from the exam will be missed. That's a promise from me to you. So guys, go ahead, avail this course. You can use my code ARLIVE and get it on discounted rates. All right. So about me, I'm Dr. Namta Rizvi. I did my PhD in English Literature from Jamia Millia Islamia. I did my JRF NET, and here I am, your UGC NET English Literature faculty. You can follow me on my Telegram channel, that is Dr. Namta Rizvi English Literature. You will get all the updates of the classes and everything. And you can use my code, that is ARLIVE. All right. So let's go ahead with the first term, very important, that is objective correlative. All right, so when we talk about objective correlative, this is coined by T.S. Eliot in 1919. Very important here because इसमें इन्होंने Hamlet and his problems. Hamlet का जो Shakespeare का जो play है Hamlet, T.S. Eliot wrote for this objective correlative. What does it mean? This term means using objects को use करना, जैसे clouds को, आंधी को, तूफान को, flowers को, objects or events in a story to represent a character's feeling without directly saying what they feel. So you are using maybe the weather or a flower or a chair or anything to represent character क्या feel कर रहा है. You are not exactly telling character की क्या feelings हैं, but the objects around the character are saying कि character क्या feel कर रहा है. Okay, example, कोई movie में if a character feels sad, okay, कोई भी movie में जब character sad feel करता है तो music भी कितनी ज़्यादा sad सी हो जाती है. The scene might show rain falling outside to represent the sadness. A very favorite objective correlative for the Bollywood movies कि characters sad feel कर रहे हैं, बारिश हो रही है and music बज रही background में. So हमें बता रहा है कि okay, the character is sad. Okay, this is objective correlative where the object is telling us कि emotion क्या है character का. Instead of saying she was sad, a story might show her tearing a letter in frustration, letting the action express her emotion. अब जब आप कोई movie या drama देख रहे होते हैं, character ये नहीं बोलता I am sad. Character will do something. Maybe she's frustrated. She will tear a letter. She will throw her bag, or she will do something to express the inner turmoil, the inner anger. Okay, तो इसको objective correlative कहते हैं. Remember, object को correlate करना. Okay, so this is a very important term. Hamlet and his problem, 1919 by T.S. Eliot. Remember this. Next we have is anagnorisis. Aristotle around 335 before Christ era BCE in his book Poetics. It means is a moment in a story जब character suddenly realize करता है that something important often doubt themselves or their situation. Okay, तो character को एकदम से anagnorisis होता है, एकदम से bingo moment होता है कि oh ये मैंने क्या कर दिया. Okay, तो example in the Lion King, सबने Lion King movie देखी है, Simba की and Mustafa की, right? So Simba realizes that he must return to take his rightful place as king. That realization changes his path. When his father Mustafa, जो king होता है, Lion King में कहानी है, जहाँ पे उसका जो Lion King होता है, उसका father होता है, उसकी death हो जाती है, and Simba is very sad and suddenly he realizes कि अभी जो happy go lucky जिंदगी जी रहा था, now he has to be the king. एकदम से realization that changes his life. Next we have in Harry Potter, when Harry learns that he's a wizard and entire life changes. Okay, जो एक moment जो कि completely आपको realization कर देता है, oh, this is the reality, this is the sudden change in my life. Okay, so that is anagnorisis. Negative capability, John Keats ने term coin किया है 1817 में. कब? अपने letters में, जो कि वो अपने brothers को लिखता था. It's the ability to remain in uncertainty, negative. I am not sure about my situation, I am uncertain कि आगे क्या है, तो उसको rather than negative या pessimistic aspect देने के बजाय कीट्स ने उसको पॉजिटिव वे में बोला है कि इट्स ओके, अनसर्टेनिटी है, एम्बिग्विटी है, अनक्लियर है, कोई बात नहीं. So it's the ability to remain in uncertainty, mystery, and doubt without the urge to resolve or rationalize them. Instead of trying to force logical explanation, it embraces the ambiguity. So embrace the ambiguity. You do not need to know what lies ahead. So that is what Keys is saying, is celebrate that. Embrace it. It's okay. You don't have to have answer, certainty always there. Okay, enjoy that ambiguity. That is, enjoy that doubtfulness, that unclear path. Example, if a character is confused about their future, the writer might describe the character sitting by a foggy, unclear path, reflecting their uncertainty without trying to give them clear answers. अब ऑथर के पास तो पावर होती है ना कि कैरेक्टर को आंसर्स दें, बट ऑथर ये नहीं करता है. ऑथर टेक्स ऑन द नेगेटिव कैपेबिलिटी एस्पेक्ट एंड ही सेज कि let it be unclear. Okay, that's negative capability. Example 2, in movies when the story doesn't resolve every question, कितनी movies में open ended रहता है, books open ended रहती हैं, it's left an ending left open to interpretation. It allows the viewer to remain in the unknown instead of providing a definite conclusion. अब तो कितनी movies आ चुकी हैं जहाँ पे it's absolutely unclear कि कि ending में होता क्या है, and we are in a state of negative capability. We have to embrace the unclear, the doubt. All right, that's negative capability. Next you have is hermeneutics. Friedrich Schleiermacher in 1808 में term point किया था. इसका hermeneutics का मतलब क्या है? It's the study of how we interpret or understand written texts. इसने context specially इसने literature और philosophy के बारे में ज़्यादा बात किया है. एंड कैसे हम लोग रिटन कॉन्टेक्स्ट को पढ़ते हैं, रिटन टेक्स्ट को हम लोग इंटरप्रेट करते हैं, कैसे एनालाइज करते हैं. थिंक ऑफ इट लाइक ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट एन ऑथर रियली मेंट व्हेन दे रोट अ स्टोरी और पोएम. हर्मेन्यूटिक्स लुक्स एट द डीपर मीनिंग ऑफ द टेक्स्ट. फॉर इंस्टेंस कभी कभी हम लोग कहते हैं कि जैसे प्राइड एंड प्रेजुडिस में जेन ऑस्टन ने इस तरह की कहानी क्यों लिखी कि फीमेल वर ओनली फॉर मैरिज. शी वॉज ट्राइंग टू से, Jane Austen के perspective से सोचिए, she was trying to say that women were only confined to that area of social life, marriage. Okay, so what is the author trying to say? Get into that author. Okay, so it is how we interpret or understand written text. Example 2, when reading a novel, hermeneutics would help us to figure out why the author made a certain character, author ने वो character क्यों बनाया, do something, and what it says about life or society. Okay, hermeneutics is nothing, लगता है कि बहुत बड़ा term है, but it is just interpreting the text as it is. And the last we have metafiction. What is metafiction? A very important term for postmodern authors. They use it a lot. 1960s में आया है term. Several critics ने बनाया. कोई इसका particular critic नहीं है. A lot many critics have made. What does it mean? This is when a story reminds you that you are reading a story. कभी कभी हम लोग कहानी में खो जाते हैं ना, लगता है कि असली दुनिया है, लेकिन मेटाफिक्शन में क्या होता है कि ऑथर्स बताते हैं, एकदम से कहानी बताते बताते ऑथर आपसे बात करने लगेगा. डियर रीडर, आई होप दैट यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट दिस इज अ स्टोरी एंड दिस हैज टू बी टोल्ड फ्रॉम माय पर्सपेक्टिव. यू कैन तो एकदम से जब ऑथर आपसे बात करने लगता है, देन यू रियलाइज, ओ ये तो स्टोरी है, इट इज द ऑथर इज टॉकिंग टू मी. ओके, so the characters or the narrator might speak directly to the reader. Okay, instead of telling us a story, characters वो हमसे बात करने लगता है, हमें कुछ बताने लगता है. So breaking the illusion of the story, तो illusion हमारा चला जाता है कि ओके ये जो है स्टोरी है, ये रियलिटी नहीं है. एग्जाम्पल इन द मूवी डेडपूल, एक सबने अगर डेडपूल देखी है, द मेन कैरेक्टर टॉक्स डायरेक्टली टू द ऑडियंस. हिंदी मूवीज में भी कुछ ऐसे आए हैं, मतलब आई डोंट रिमेंबर, लेकिन हाँ जहाँ पे डायरेक्टली ऑडियंस से बात कर रहा है. कोई ऐसी मूवी, इफ यू कैन थिंक, देन डू राइट इन द कमेंट सेक्शन, रिमाइंडिंग अस दैट इट्स अ मूवी एंड नॉट रियल लाइफ. ओके, एग्जाम्पल, दूसरा एग्जाम्पल इन द प्रिंसेस ब्राइड, द ग्रैंडफादर इज रीडिंग द स्टोरी, stops to talk to his grandson. Okay, so उस like कहीं पे कहानी कोई बता रहा है, and वो grandfather कहता है, okay wait let me talk. to my grandson. Okay, so this तरह से बहुत पोस्ट मॉडर्निस्ट राइटर ने मेटाफिक्शन का इस्तेमाल किया है. That's why I'm discussing this term. This interprets the story and reminds it's a book being read. Okay, it's nothing else apart from this. So these, okay, so summary, let's quickly look at the 5 summary. Objective correlating using objects or events to show emotions. T.S. Eliot ने किया था 1919 में. Anagnorisis, a sudden realization that changes everything for a character. Aristotle, 335 BCE. Hermeneutics, the study of how we interpret and understand things. Okay, and understand text. That's Frederick Schleiermacher in 1808. Negative capability. This was coined by John Keats in 1817. And it's the ability to embrace the uncertainty, accept the uncertainty. Metafiction, when a story reminds you it's just a story, nothing else, when the author directly talks. Okay, so these were the 5 important terms. I hope they helped you. Please learn them, can come in your exam. And the course is, ये हमारा और कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव कोर्स, ऐसे मैं बहुत चैप्टर्स कर रही हूँ, ऐसे इसी तरह से आसान तरीके से मुझे समझाना है. मैं कोई भी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड वे नहीं, I don't follow any complicated way to teach my students. All this is going to be very simple for all of you. So go ahead, avail the course. You can use my discount code, that is ARLive, and get English Literature Paper 2 as well as Paper 1 in 7 phones. Thank you, and I will see you again in